Hello students, so this is the syllabus for derivative security. We we have derivatives, which is some financial instruments whose value is derived from some underlying assets. So basically, it's like some options or some contracts, and there are swaps or options. So we try to our motive is to find out the value for these options. Okay, that's the main motive. So for this, we need to understand something like a calculus, but it's not really our ordinary calculus. It's stochastic calculus. So we need to learn the differentiation, integration, and then some differential equations to solve, and then we use some methods to find out the options price for like if the expiry time is capital T, so before capital T, if any small t time, how to find out the option that are the right values. Okay, so this is the main thing. So what we are doing here is like initially in FFM we started with a discrete case. Okay, so it's like time t equals to 0, we have something, then time t equals to 1, we have some cases, time t equals to 2, we have another few cases like that. Okay, so and then there are the, main things was this one is a binomial model. Okay, so it's like if time 0 we have some asset, the value is s0, then time t equals to 1, it can either be increasing or decreasing. Okay, so it's only two possible values. We fix two possible values, so it's either the first one or the second one. Okay, in reality it's not like that. In reality it can be any values. Okay, but we fix this one that it either increase or decrease. It cannot be same, it cannot be constant. Okay, we just assume that there are only two possible values, either increased or decreased. Okay, that's why we call it binomial model. And then we have to do some calculations, some mathematics, background mathematics, so that we can find out the valuation of the premium. Okay, the v0, actually it's a v0, you denote by v0. So we in the process we learned probability theory, some rigorous probability theory. So it's not like we are tossing a coin and then it's either head or tail. So that's the only probability, p of h, p of t. It's like what is meant by p. Okay, and then what is meant by events. All these things we have learned mathematically. So and then the expectation, the conditional probability, conditional expectation, so how we predict something in future. Okay, if we are given no information and if we are given some prior information. Okay, so all these things we have already learned. Now we are doing, you can say loosely, is like the continuous case of whatever we have learned before. Okay, so okay, let's start. So first thing is the derivative. So derivative, like you understand, it's something like a contract, some option. So it's a financial instrument. It's something whose value is depending on some underlying assets. Okay, so what are underlying assets? These are underlying assets. Okay, it can be foreign exchange, and then it can be gold, it can be silver, it can be oil. It's these are the most popular underlying assets. Okay, so this. At the time of the expiration of the derivative contract, denoted by T, the expiry time, the price Ft of our derivative is completely determined by St. Okay, the derivative price is F capital T at the time of expiry. This value is known. It is determined by the value of the underlying asset at time capital T. Okay, this is the first assumption. The relationship between ft and st. Okay, so as you can understand, the capital T, we already know these values. Okay, the ft just a value of the just something is st. Okay, something like st. But if the t is less than capital T before the expiry time, what will be the relation? The ft and st, f of small t and s small t, what is the relation? Okay, that's our motive. Okay, derivatives are agreement between two parties, a buyer and a seller. So derivatives, these are the few types: forward contracts or future contracts, options, and swaps. An agreement to buy or sell an asset at a certain future time, expiration time or maturity time, for a certain price, strike price. This is a contract. Okay. Future contracts are highly standardized, whereas the terms of each forward contract can be privately negotiated. Futures are traded on an exchange, whereas forward over the counter. These are the main two differences between forward contract and future contract. Otherwise, they are almost same. Okay, for our case, actually, for our discussion is almost same. Okay. So what's interesting is the option. Option is an agreement which gives one the right but not the obligation to buy or sell an asset at expiration date at strike price. So the strike price is already set, okay? The expiration date already set, but you are not obliged to buy or sell. You have the option to back out, okay? So this is the two popular type, the call option and the put option. And then people participating in option trading can be four types: buyers of call option, sellers of call option, buyers of put option, sellers of put option. Why we deal in options? Okay, so people can think we can directly buy or sell the underlying asset. Why we are dealing in options? Okay, the thing is, if you invest in options, you use less money to access a stock. Okay, you just pay the premium, nothing else. The deal flops, only lose the premium. The deal flops, you can back out. Okay, no obligation to buy or sell the stock. If you made the investment and bought the shares, you would lose a lot more than just your premium. Okay, these are the advantages to deal in options than directly in the on the underlying assets. Some terminologies. One maintains long positions in the expectation that the stock will rise in value in the future. Okay, when we say someone is long, means is expecting the value will increase. Okay, the value of the asset increase. So he's keeping the thing for like 1 year. He's just keeping the thing. He sit down and relax, and then he assume that the thing will increase in value. Okay, so that's called long position. A short position means you don't have something. Okay, it's generally the sale of a stock you do not own. So you don't have something, you borrow from your friend, you think that the price will drop. Okay, so you borrow from your friend, you sell it, the money market, you invest in the money market, and you think that this one, the value, actual value will be less than what is it now. Okay, so after 1 year, you have the money more than the value. Okay, so you can buy back the thing and then you give it back to your friend. Okay, so, and in the process, you can maybe you can earn something. Okay, so out of the money and in the money, these are two technical terms, OTM and ITM. So as you can understand, out of the money means something which has no value. I mean, it's like long and short position you are doing. Okay, and then you are having a situation where the thing, if you hold something, it has no value. Okay, it's called out of the money, and in the money, as you can understand, is just the opposite thing. Okay. A call option is the this one will be very interesting. Okay, call option. If you understand the call option, you can also understand the OTM and ITM very nicely. Okay, so a call option is the right to buy an asset as a strike price K. Okay, it's a right to buy. So when we discuss the put option, it's just right to sell. Okay, so you understand the call option, the put option, it will be just the opposite. Okay, it's just the perspective of the seller. Okay, so this right may be exercised at the expiration date T of the option. The call option can be purchased for a price of CT called a premium at time T less than capital T. Understand? A call option is the right to buy an asset as a strike price K. This right may be exercised at the expiration date T of the option. The call option can be purchased for a price, the premium CT at time small t, any time small t less than capital T. Okay, so when do we say out of the money? So now suppose you have the call option. Okay, you have the call option means you have the right to buy something at the price of K. Okay, now in the money market, in the sorry in the open market, the value of the thing is now suppose S of capital T. Okay, expiry time capital T, the value is S capital T. If ST is less than K, that means you can buy the product, buy the asset at a much lesser price from the open market than if you buy the thing from the contract owner. Okay, so in that case you will never buy from the contract owner. Okay, you will not exercise the call option, you will buy the thing from open market. Okay, so ST less than K means the thing is out of the money. Okay, the call option is out of the money, and if you have ST greater than K, of course it is in the money. Okay, so CT, the value is maximum of ST minus K and 0. Okay, this is the value at the time capital T. Okay, don't be confused with the CT. Is a value at the time capital T. Okay, this one, the C small t is the value at time small t less than capital T. So put option is just the opposite. It gives the holder the right to sell by a certain date for a certain price. Okay. So I am not discussing anything about the OTM, ITM conditions for put option. It will be just the opposite. There is another one. It's a hybrid. Is a forward and option both together. We can think about the swap. Okay. We don't discuss this one in our syllabus, so we skip this. Pricing derivatives. All current methods of pricing derivatives utilize the notion of arbitrage. Okay, what is arbitrage? Arbitrage means you have unfair game. Okay, so a trading strategy that has positive probability of making profits without any risk of loss. Okay, so you suppose you don't have any money, you borrow something from your friend, and you always earn money from that. Okay, it cannot happen. Okay, so then if there is a process for this, then everyone will go in that process, so someone will lose. Okay, the market collapse. So it cannot be that there is some strategy where you can have arbitrage. Okay, so all the pricing derivatives, all the options pricing will utilize the notion of no arbitrage actually. Okay, if there is no arbitrage, then it's okay. Okay, so we have to learn these things. For the call options and put options, if we have to find the option pricing and all these kind of things, we have to derive the stochastic differentiation, stochastic integration, stochastic Taylor series approximation, stochastic differential equation, how to solve them. Okay, so not really derive, is just understand the process. Okay, how we modify the ordinary calculus to stochastic calculus. Okay, so what you have here is a random function f r cross w to r. We have functions of bounded variation, sequence, derivative, chain rule, integration by parts, partial derivative, total differential, Taylor series expansion, differential equation. Okay, these are the things we already have. We have in the ordinary calculus. So these things we will modify a bit for the stochastic calculus. Okay. Okay, so this one is single period multiple assets. Okay, suppose like last time we have only S0, right? In FFM, when we discuss the discrete case binomial model, we have a share whose price is S0. Then the next step it's either S1H or S1T and so on. Okay, now you consider there are n tradable assets. Okay, so it's not only S0, it's S10, S20, Sn0, capital N0. Okay, so total capital N number of assets are there. Together we call them S0. Okay, so S0 is not a single stock. Okay, it's not a single derivative. Okay, it's a N number, capital N number of things inside. Okay, so now if you consider after a while, there are two possibilities. Like last time is two possibilities, is either H or T. Now suppose there are small n number of possibilities, so we say n states of the world. Okay, this is the uncertainties, the n number of uncertainties. Okay, it's denoted by suppose w1, w2 and w small n. Okay, so if you have s10, suppose just consider s10, we have s10. If the state of the world is W1, suppose the value is denoted by D11. Okay. Similarly, if we have S10, the stock, and then we have the state of the world W2, we have D12 and so on. Okay. So basically, Dij is the value of ith asset in world state J. Okay. Okay. So D11, D12. D21, you understand? D12 is S10 at the time at the state of the world W2. D21 is the S20, the valuation at the time of at the state of the world W1. Okay, so how we can denote portfolio? The portfolio theta is actually theta 1, theta 2, theta capital N. The portfolio means it's a possible values, okay, possible values of S10, S20 and all. So we have total N number of things. Okay, market value of the portfolio at time 0 is S10 theta 1, S20 theta 2. Ultimately, last one is Sn0 theta n. Okay, so if you can consider this as two matrices, you can multiply S0 and theta, we can get this. Market value of portfolio at time t. This is the market value of the portfolio at time 0, right? It's at time 0. The market value of the portfolio at time t is given by D. So now its value is D11, right? Its value is D11. So D11 is corresponding to the first AS10 and the state of the world W1. So it's D11 multiplied by the portfolio theta 1. D21 multiplied by theta 2. Similarly, D1 multiplied by theta n. Similarly, if we have D12 multiplied by theta 1, D22, the portfolio is theta 2 and so on. Okay. So this one again, when you get this matrix, we can consider this matrix is same like a DT matrix multiplied by theta matrix. Okay. You can just write down the matrices and then see if you multiply them, you can get it. Okay. Arbitrage means is a portfolio with either you have no money. Okay, the second case. Okay, the second case, you have no money, so h0 theta is less than 0, it's negative, you have no money, but you can always earn at least 0. Okay, so h0 theta less than 0, but at time t your portfolio is dt theta greater equals to 0. Okay, greater than or at the worst case is equals to 0, not less than. Okay, so this is arbitrage. Another case can be h0 theta is less than equals to 0. That means initially you have either no money or maybe you start with 0 money. Okay, you have only 0, but then afterwards at time capital T you always earn something. dt theta d transpose theta is greater than 0. These two cases, both of them are arbitrage. Okay, we don't want them to happen. Okay. Okay, so this is the like you can say it's like the introduction of derivative security. So now we have to discuss all the mathematics background. Okay, so I'll come into this later.